Dude, brother.
Champion.
We good?
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I'm good. I'm good. Been putting in the work. So last I had a tournament, he was in there as well.
Yeah.
So I was in the final with him. Then in the second round, he surprised me with a spinning back fist.
Yeah.
Like, right to the chin. I was like, oh my God, my face was on the canvas. I'm like, oh my God, I was like wobbling.
I gotta see the film. But the more you fight them, then you get better. They might win 5-0, the next thing you might win 3-0, the next thing you might beat them. You know,
100%.
just don't quit. I know great fighters that get knocked out their first pro fight, and then they beat somebody in their 10th fight, and then they never lost again. Discipline is doing what we hate to do, but doing it like we love it.
Sharpen the blades. Sharpen the blades with the very, very, very best elite of the world. It's next level. It's hard. It's competitive. But we like it. We like it even though it's hard. We gotta dig deep and we gotta keep searching for openings and different strategies because he adjusts every time.
You can't teach what he has in him. It's something that's ingrained in him. He's been like that for his whole life, and you know that's why you see something special every time you see him fight, every time you see him do an interview. You know, he's just a special person, and he's upon a special show.
Mike Tyson has now thrown fuel on the fire by backing Rico Verhoeven to shock the boxing world and completely tear through Oleksandr Usyk inside the ring. Watching Rico closely from ringside in the gym, Tyson highlights the dangerous strengths Verhoeven brings into a fight against Oleksandr Usyk.
That don't get hit, they avoid punch, they're not afraid to get hit. They get hit, they can take it, but they avoid punching.
The best part of Tyson's camp is that he leads by example himself, and Rico's team believes the way Mike is pushing him will prepare him perfectly.
24, 25, halfway, 6, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. Good work, 15 more. Good work, Mike.
He wants to keep building it up. He wants to increase 3-minute rounds and then add as many rounds as we can get. Keep building up. I know he wants those 10 rounds.
10 rounds. 10 rounds. That's serious.
Oh, he's gonna be ready. Yeah. He's gonna be ready.
Team Rico's trainer explains how effectively Tyson has prepared Verhoeven for the transition from kickboxing to boxing and believes he is ready to shock the world on May 23rd.
He's raising his techniques in the training better and better every single day. His defense, his power, his speed, his endurance. Today he put everything together, the conditioner, everything that he needs to put a great show.
For his part, Rico understands the value of having legends behind him his upcoming fight with Usyk as he targets the very WBC title Mike Tyson once held.
Being the best version of me and just keep challenging myself in whatever way possible on the highest level. And that's what we're gonna do because I can become boxing world champion because this belt, the WBC belt, has been held by Muhammad Ali, by Mike Tyson, and in a couple of months, Rico Verhoeven is going to be added to that list.
On the other hand, Usyk is aiming to do what Anthony Joshua once did to Francis Ngannou, but insists his full focus remains on preparation and answering every question on fight night.
Do you feel like you have to do what AJ did to Francis, make a statement with a win against Rico?
I'm not thinking about Rico now. I say every time this. Now my focus is my prepare, but I will think about fight only day fight, 23 May. I prepare myself on 12 rounds, but if I have, when I have a chance, I do it. Yeah, but I not think, yeah, I'm knock him out, I'm blah, 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 blah. No, take it easy.
Discussing the fight, Max Kellerman shares his thoughts on how the disadvantages of coming from kickboxing could become a major problem in a boxing match against Oleksandr Usyk. He explains that the intensity and technical pressure in boxing are completely different at the elite level. Even several experts are predicting that Usyk could handle the job quickly, with some believing the fight may not last beyond 2 or 3 rounds before a possible stoppage.
Obviously, they felt it wasn't in some way, right? So it's not exactly boxing. On the other hand, and this is at the highest level, he is a long-reigning dominant champion. You fought at the highest level in the heavyweight division, Chris. What are your thoughts about this?
First of all, you can't teach size. You can't teach 6'5", 270. You can't teach that, all right? Second of all, whether it's kickboxing or boxing, he still has a pedigree of fighting. He knows what it's like to get hit. And those kicks ain't no joke. I'd rather get punched than kicked.
Right.
So he must have a good chin or good body work. So I'm looking forward just to see what Usyk could do against a lesser opponent. He probably should end up within 2 to 3 rounds.
The thing about Usyk is, guys, he takes things seriously,
Yeah.
right?
Highlighting the credentials of Oleksandr Usyk, Max Kellerman believes this fight is a fascinating test since Rico is someone who knows how to stand and trade. But against Usyk, who has already dominated giants like Anthony Joshua and Daniel Dubois, his chances are still uncertain and will truly be revealed on fight night against the undisputed heavyweight of boxing.
He's going to take a fun fight. This isn't a wrestler. He's fighting a guy that knows how to stand up. No one's suggesting that Usyk's going to lose this fight. But Usyk has effectively cleaned out the heavyweight division. You know, obviously there's a Guy Caballel there who I'm a fan of, and Fabio Wardley, but there's always going to be new guys that come around. Otama,
No,
there will
I
always be new
disagree.
guys.
I would phrase it differently, Shady. I wouldn't say he's cleaned out the division, but I would say this. If a guy moves up to a division, as Usyk did, as the undisputed champion, wins another he's undisputed at heavyweight, and you beat Fury twice, Joshua twice, Dubois twice.
Right, yep.
You are entitled to what we used to call an in-between fight, as long as you're staying active.
Yeah.
He's 38 years old, etc. So then the question becomes, in your in-between fight, is it something interesting? Right? If you're going to take a softer touch, is it something interesting? I find it just me as a human being, find it super interesting.
Backing Usyk's decision to choose Rico as his next opponent, Max Kellerman, along with his ringside panel, believes that just like Crawford, Oleksandr Usyk has already cemented his legacy and is now in a position to carefully pick the biggest challenges ahead. The main concern raised is whether he shows full seriousness, especially after doubts seen in Tyson Fury versus Francis Ngannou. But Max insists a fighter like Usyk always arrives fully prepared, focused, and ready for any test in the ring.
Fought them top guys we talked about, not once but twice, and I think he deserves this. So get an in-between type of fight. We talked about Crawford, the things that Crawford's done, beating Canelo. Who would he fight next? And we say, hey man, you beat the hell out of Spence, you beat the hell out of Canelo, you deserve the right to get a easy payday somewhere, somehow. So I don't mind that because we know what type of fighter he really is. I think he does this fight, he wins in the first 3 rounds, whatever it may be, and then we might get a bigger fight with somebody next. But it's not wrong with this.
I just hope Verhoeven shows up, though. Meaning,
he gonna show up.
I hope he shows up to fight, and he shows up to win.
Yeah,
Verhoeven fights.
That's what I really want.
He will fight. I think a prideful guy like that is gonna do his best.
Despite the matchup drawing criticism, especially over WBC sanctioning, Gareth A. Davies and Johnny Nelson share their thoughts on the decision. Nelson insists the focus should remain on the undisputed heavyweight status of Oleksandr Usyk, while Davies is uncomfortable with his belt being put on the line against a kickboxer. He respects Rico Verhoeven as a kickboxing champion, but argues the value of titles in boxing and kickboxing cannot be treated the same, also questioning the WBC's decision.
Everybody else has got...
But it doesn't need to be for the WBC
So they're saying, no, we're sticking with the champion. We're sticking with the champ because he's the man. And that's what they're doing. They're sticking with the man that they recognise as the best heavyweight fighter in the world.
Yeah, but don't recognise Rico Verhoeven in that same breath. Create a different belt. Create a belt that brings the champions.
There's too many belts around.
No, I mean for this one-off fight. I don't agree with the WBC. I agree with the event. I agree with monumental matchmaking being made in terms of the greatest kickboxer ever against one of the greatest heavyweight.
Former opponent Tony Bellew, who has shared the ring with Oleksandr Usyk himself, gives his thoughts on the matchup and calls it an interesting but tricky test. He says Usyk is never an easy touch, and when facing Rico, things become even more complicated. According to Bellew, Usyk will face an opponent punching and boxing from angles he should not bring from a kickboxing background. He believes Usyk will figure him out in the first 2 to 3 rounds, and then take over the fight with control and punishment.
He's been doing easy touch, hasn't he, for a while.
Well, he fought you.
I don't want to say he's an easy touch. I think it'll be really interesting for about 6 or 7 minutes. I think 1 or 2 rounds, and then I think once he figures him out, because he's going to be an absolute nightmare to prepare for. He's going to be throwing punches from all kinds of mad angles. He's going to be doing things that he should never be doing. He'll be really awkward, really crazy for the first few rounds. and then I think he'll figure him out and then he'll punish him.
Speaking on Rico's chances, Tony Bello notes that not only is Mike Tyson pushing him, but his sparring experience with rounds of work against Tyson Fury will also have an impact on fight night. However, he believes it does not change the outcome, insisting Oleksandr Usyk is likely to win convincingly. In his view, Usyk will figure Rico out within 2 to 3 rounds and make it extremely difficult for him, breaking his rhythm and controlling the fight to the point where he cannot read where the punches are coming from.
Tony, we're talking a bit before as well that he's sparred with the Furies, hasn't he?
Yes, he has. He's been in the camp with the Furies for many years. He spars many rounds with Hughie Fury. He sparred dozens and hundreds of rounds with dozens of rounds with Tyson Fury. He's been around a long time. He's been around Peter Fury a long time, so that gives me a little bit of confidence in him as well, because Peter wouldn't take on a mess. Peter wouldn't embarrass himself with taking on a clown. So it lets you know that he can definitely fight. But I just think Usyk's so clever and so wise. 2-3 rounds maximum, he'll figure them out. He'll have got the timing down to a T. And I think by round 5, 6, he'll be teeing off on him, and he won't know where they're coming from. So
Bello insists the facts are the facts, saying no matter how great a kickboxing champion Rico is, he cannot step into boxing discipline and expect to dominate someone like Usyk. He adds that it works both ways, noting if Usyk entered a kickboxing fight against Rico, the result could be just as harsh. Oleksandr Usyk, in his view, would still figure things out quickly, while Rico could struggle to adapt in boxing, with Bello believing Usyk would take control within the first 2 rounds.
He's an amazing kickboxer. He's one of the best, you know what I mean? Listen, I think Ernie Usyk is the best kickboxer ever, but that's up for debate. But he's a strong guy. He's got very, very good hands for a kickboxer. But listen, you're coming into our discipline, and no one is ever going to come into our discipline and beat us at it. It's like we can't go into their discipline. If this was a kickboxing match, he'd kick Oleksandr Usyk's legs off in about 2 rounds. But thankfully it's not. It's a boxing match, and I think, like I said, after that 6 or 7 minute period where he's really difficult and hard to figure out, I think then you'll see the undoing of him.
Coming from another perspective, UFC veteran Tom Aspinall believes Rico is being heavily written off and says his size and power are being underestimated. Tom Aspinall insists he has been training with Rico for a long time and knows exactly how tough he is. He makes it clear that Rico Verhoeven does have a real chance against Oleksandr Usyk, urging fans and critics not to underestimate him heading into such a high-level clash.
I mean, I think Rico's getting wrote off.
Did you come across him at Peter?
Listen, I've been training with Rico for the last 10 years, so I'm obviously pretty Rico biased. Rico's a good friend of mine. But he's a big man. He's had a lot of fights. Fair enough, they're fighting a different sport. But he can, like, if he hits him, it could be over. Do I think that Rico's a better boxer than Usyk? Absolutely not. I'm not saying that at all. But I think that he's getting wrote off and he's definitely got a chance of winning.
Similarly, Eddie Hall delivers a harsh take that could completely change the narrative, describing Rico Verhoeven as the toughest challenge Oleksandr Usyk has ever come across, and even tipping him to stun the sporting world. Having trained alongside Rico, Eddie Hall says he would step in against almost anyone, even King Kong, yet would avoid Verhoeven entirely. He claims Rico's raw strength surpasses Usyk, Anthony Joshua, Conor McGregor, and Alex Pereira, making him a real danger in this matchup.
And I can honestly, hand on heart, say, if you were to give me any man on the planet to stand and fight King Kong with, right, and give me any single man on the planet, I'd pick Rico Verhoeven, because to me, he is the hardest that I have ever met. If you ask me, you put Usyk, AJ, Tyson Fury, Francis Ngannou, Alex Pereira, line Conor McGregor, line them all up, right? And say, right, which one would you want to fight the least? Rico Verhoeven.
Calling him a seriously dangerous force, Eddie Hall insists the public is badly underestimating Rico Verhoeven and warns that Oleksandr Usyk could be in for a huge surprise when the bell rings. He believes Rico's strength, pressure, and physical presence are being overlooked, and says those qualities could flip expectations on fight night. In his view, if Usyk is not fully prepared for that level of power, the night could become far more difficult than anyone predicts.
He is that dangerous of a man. And with the kickboxing, and again, people just don't know this, is kickboxing is like three 3-minute rounds. The intensity is fucking insane. They are punch, kick, punch, kick, punch, kick. They're just, they're fierce. And if Rico brings that into the boxing, I think it's going to be a big surprise for Usyk. I'm not going to say he's going to win, but I think he's going to shock the world. He's got every chance to win. And I think people are massively underestimating Rico. Massively.
Ring Magazine, this guy should be doing your promo. That was absolutely brilliant.
According to Eddie Hall, even elite names such as UFC heavyweight champion Tom Aspinall would think twice before stepping into kickboxing against Rico Verhoeven. He argues that a fighter carrying that kind of aura, size, and physical dominance becomes a major danger for Oleksandr Usyk. In his opinion, Rico's presence alone is enough to shift the tone of the fight, making him a serious and underestimated threat on fight night.
I think Rico's going to surprise a lot of people. I think win, draw, or lose, he's going to shock the world. I think everyone's written him off.
Yeah.
I've had the privilege to spend quite a bit of time with Rico. I've trained with Rico. I've been to watch him fight, ringside. He has got to be, hand on heart, the most frightening person on the planet. And even like top fighters say that, like Tom Aspinall wouldn't fight Rico in kickboxing. That's how scary a human being he is. For Tom Aspinall to say, I wouldn't fuck with Rico, and I could see it in his face, like genuinely meant it.
The real surprise, according to Eddie Hall, is the elite background Rico Verhoeven carries from kickboxing, which he describes as an aggressive, forward-driven style capable of overwhelming opponents. He believes this pressure-based approach could create major problems for Oleksandr Usyk if he cannot control the pace early. In Hall's view, Rico's non-stop offense, timing, and physical force make him a genuine threat who could turn the fight into a far more difficult challenge than expected.
100%. There's, I honestly think that Rico is going to be a big problem. Big problem for Usyk. Rico, you got to think with the kickboxing, I think, what is it? Three 3-minute rounds or something?
Yep.
Yeah, and they are trained. So you got to think like that. They don't do the 12-round bollocks. Like they are trained just to give 100% for those 3 minutes. And you watch the fight ringside, it is forward, offense. They do not take breaks. And I think that's going to be a real shock.
This fight is shaping into a true clash of worlds, where experience, power, and legacy all collide under one spotlight, with Mike Tyson pushing Rico Verhoeven harder than ever behind the scenes. With opinions split right down the middle, the only real answers will come when they finally step into the ring and let their skills speak. Well, if you enjoyed this breakdown, like the video, subscribe for more fight updates, and drop your prediction in the comments on who takes it and why.